My name is Waldog, the Holy Vampire, Wallace, Waldog. Um, I'm doing some videos talking about some things because it's important to me to talk about therapy and progress and growth and development and education, and just makes me feel a little bit better. So, talking about talking about progress and how I see things. And I've seen a lot of different things uh, in regards to supernatural stuff and people stuff, spiritual stuff. I believe in some pretty simple principles that most people, or should I say, I don't want to say all people, but most people would agree on. Uh, and the reason why I say that is that with what I've learned about the human brain and instincts, that commonalities of those things that people share. Uh, God, I believe that God made us uh, made us this way for a reason. It's a pretty simple principle that when there is something, certain things, when you're in the presence of certain things, the body changes, the brain changes. It's a pretty simple principle, right? Well, in the presence of greatness, in the presence of uh, not just one person, but groups of people doing great things, beautiful things, the body changes. People change. People experience things and feelings. And progressively, I've had different thoughts about things. About reasons for doing things, and even the message. My message in my channel: spread positive awareness of kind vampires and bridge communication between all people. Well, the bridge communication between all people is absolutely true. But I wasn't thinking about this in particular, but it's on topic. It's on message. What I'm saying right now is that the just say time. The time is now. Time is now. Time is now for progress in people. Uh, and I've always wondered this as a young person, and talking to other people. So, well, wouldn't this be nice? Wouldn't this be nice if this was better? It's like, no, it can't have that. It can't be that way because of this, and you know, the bad tendencies and the or like because of this or this. And I'm like, I learned. I'm like, well, that's not true. And here's why. Because back to that principle that I said, in the presence of things, people change, of certain things, certain instinctual things that have been placed in us, in our genetics, that I believe God put there for a reason. So, in the presence of greatness, brings out a change in people. And I've experienced that firsthand, being around great people, great things, beautiful things. Not beautiful people. I'm not talking about how people look. I'm talking about situations and things. Uh, when people are interacting in certain ways that are beautiful. It can only be described as, so that's beautiful. Something inside of me says that is beautiful. So I realized that, and I used to think, and going back to what I was saying, I used to think like, well, what motivates me? What am I doing? Clearly, I got my message, spreading positive awareness. Well, that's kind of that's not what I'm seeing as important. What I see as important and something to, the phrase when you're aiming for the stars. I know it's kind of not exactly what I'm going trying to say, but aiming for, instead of aiming for the moon, so to speak. You know, spreading positive awareness is like it's like going for the moon. That's lame. That's lame to me. It's to the stars, so to metaphorically speaking. Well, the greater message is progress and presenting greatness and beautiful things, so that people change in the presence of beautiful and great things. It unlocks our genetics, our God-given instincts, and unlocks potential and greatness in people, beautiful things in people, and progress. That that is what I am seeing. That is what I am grasping for in the stars, so to speak. Spreading positive awareness of vampires, like in a way, I've done that. I've accomplished that. I can say that. I can say that. I can give examples as to why that is true. That's great. But that's not that's so insignificant. It's insignificant to me right now. Like I've seen how people change in the presence of greatness, or what their body, what their soul, their spiritual self identifies as. Hey, I'm seeing something, and it's doing something to my body that is freaking amazing. I have to think about this because my I'm changing my genetics, my how I am. Something's opening up in a good way. I've seen it many times, and at first I didn't really. You don't really. You see something you don't recognize. You identify it, but you don't quite identify it correctly. Well, I have. I'm getting more knowledge of that, more experience every day, because I'll use the word investigating the topic of that phenomena. I should say the phenomena to me, but it's just that principle. In the presence of something, the a person changes. So why is it important? Why change at all? Keep things the same way. Well, it's not up to me. I realize that. I would ask myself that question. Like, well, I'm just doing my own thing, and I would say, well, keep things the same way. And, there's plenty of reasons why that's good. Well, clearly, there's more complicated, better answers out there. You don't need to change everything. There can be adaptations to things. I see it every day. I thought about this the other day. I was like, modifications, adaptations, additions. That's normal. That's a normal thing. You know, and I was thinking about this too. It's just like, well, it's not for me to decide that. There's so many gifted, extremely intelligent people out there, and unlocking a part of their self, part of them that only opens up in the presence of certain things, inspiring those people, bringing out the greater things in them of those amazing people. That is, it's like it's raising their limits, it's raising their abilities of our some of our smartest, best people. That's the topic I'm talking about, and that's why it's important, because I realize that is so powerful, and I'm not just making this up. I'm not. I don't feel like I'm theorizing this. It's true. It's true to me. Yeah, I know it's my opinion, but I can, you know, I've seen it and I've learned it. You know, I'm like, okay, well, if this is if this is if this is how it works, this is awesome. Let's do it better. Let's you know, and I'm like, well, I'm not the smartest guy, and I'm busy doing my thing. I'm a spiritual leader, but then it just I realized, and it was brought to my attention, so to speak, through spiritual means, that it's not my responsibility to do that. There's all these people over here. There's all these people over here, just like, yeah, I'm freaking great at this, and I'm super inspired right now. Let's do this. Let's do bigger, greater things. I'm inspired, and I enjoy this. It's what I'm good at. And here's things that have been unlocked in me that I didn't even realize that I was good at or that I had, and suddenly I've got this new thing that I'm developing myself, and I'm great at it. It's like I'm like, yeah, great, great, that's good. So that's where my thinking is, kind of my focus of kind of the direction of what I'm thinking. Yeah. So, anyways, just want to talk about that, and I'm gonna get going, just relax. So, appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. All right, bye.